Selamat datang ke sesi kolaborasi STOMACHOFCHAOS bersama laman pop culture suka ramai BUZZPOPTV. Saya Kedua Maharizu dari laman blog STOMACHOFCHAOS bersama para panelis dari BUZZPOP akan memberi reaksi dan ulasan siri anime OVERLORD musim keempat, episod 9 yang baru-baru disiarkan di laman streaming IQIYI pada hari Selasa yang lepas. Dan bersama saya malam ni, seperti biasa, panelis malam ini terdiri dari Anri Alwi, Isekai Waifu Hunter. How are you today?
Chama-chama, konnichiwa, dan salam salome deswa, especially to all the single okusans.
How can you be a single okusan?
Oh,
Aku tak dia punya cama-cama tu. Siapa tu?
Kau tak tengok nama baru dia? Bukan Isekai Waifu Hunter tu. Aku dah tengok dia punya Suma Dorobo tu nak pingsan dah.
Suma Dorobo.
Anyway, dan juga our other panelists, Shazli, American Kaki Anime. How are you today?
Hello. Almost miss the time tadi. Sebab makan dengan member. So macam like, dah pukul ni. Dia lagi 10 minit weh. Terus bayar tu cabut datang.
Oh, is it very close to the house then? Must be quite
close.
Tak,
I mean, near my house tu ada mama.
Tak apalah, kau buat jadi mama and then we can see the roti canai.
Aku tak boleh buat macam Wan tu. Wan, dia dalam train dia boleh buat bedah, tak boleh, I cannot.
How does he do that? Does he not bother the passengers? Wan, if I don't know if they're watching this. dalam grab, dalam taxi tak apa lagi. Anyway, tak apa. So anyway, kita sekarang we're going to talk tonight about obviously episode 9. Banyak benda baru yang kita boleh tengok, tapi hopefully we won't be going like crazy last week because obviously we've only got one episode. Tak apalah. So tanpa berlengah masa, mari kita mulakan bincangan malam ini dengan reaksi satu ayat.
Ada.
Yeah. Anyway, reaksi satu ayat from myself adalah, atau it's not even reaksi satu ayat, it's even keluhan satu ayat dari Siskon di Spy dari Siskon di Spy Family hingga ke Shotakon di episod 9 Overlord. Hey, these Japanese people. Shaz, apakah reaksi satu ayat anda tentang episod 9 ni?
Ada makeup merah weh.
Itulah, kita orang dah cakap.
What
what kind of sorcery is this? Kan?
Wow, we're gonna be talking about that, but well, mecha in a classical fantasy punya setting, that totally changes everything, man.
Yeah, it also implies that the bit that we were discussing about apa Ains duk mencari selama ini, adakah ini the turning point? But obviously we'll be talking about that later. Anyway, what about you, Anri? Apa reaksi satu ayat anda tentang episod 9?
Towards Gundam Invasion.
Gundam Invasion. So bukan Shah saja yang nak invade, tapi juga Overlord sendiri. So nampak gaya saya punya mainan can go out the window lah, so main Gundam lah sampai ni kan.
Yeah, it's this Gundam, it's not only you're fighting robots, so it has actually a legit firearm. It was like shooting cannons like 50mm rounds.
Yeah. Kan armor dia merah, and then you remember kan mamak tu baling pedang, tak ada apa pun jadi kat dia kan. Relax.
Yeah. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is memang bukan the NPC. This is a player type of person now, because the range of difference of power is macam langit dan bumi tau. So Ains, you got your wish lah.
Itulah kan. Tapi itulah. So looks like everybody's given their reaksi satu ayat. So it's going to be nice, short and sweet. So sekarang kita akan ke segmen pertama sesi ini. As usual, again, I have to say to Nick, salute lah macam mana kau buat benda ni.
あらあら。
Don't worry, by the time kita akan bulan ke 10 nanti, there'll be no ara-ara. Kita akan ikut apa the programming accordingly. Tapi yes, sebelum kita mulakan segmen pertama, saya sebelum saja nak sajikan sedikit trivia siri Overlord ni dengan memperkenalkan seiyu atau pelakon suara yang menjayakan siri ni sebagai selingan. I'm not going to go through the entire cast, but obviously just a quick one. Main character kita Momonga atau Ainz Ulgon dilakonkan oleh pelakon terkenal pelakon suara terkenal Hino Satoshi. Anda mungkin pernah dengar suaranya sebagai Rengoku Kyojuro dalam Kimetsu no Yaiba, dan juga Sai dalam Naruto. Lagi satu trivia, kalau sesiapa yang dah tengok cerita Way of the Husband, bapa mertua kepada Yakuza tu yang nak main baseball, yang malu-malu nak main baseball, yang ada misai tu, tu dia juga yang buat. And dia banyak juga berlakon dalam watak sampingan dalam Code Geass, Haikyuu, Bakuman dengan Gintama. But he's been around, and he's well known for his deep voice. So memang kita memang apt lah dia sebagai Ainz. And obviously the next person we are going to quickly give a shout out to is Harayumi, pelakon suara untuk Albedo. Saya admit saya tak tengok this other stuff yang dia pernah tengok, because dia dalam list dia pun banyak supporting, tapi main voices dia is the kalau tengok dekat overlay tu yang belah belah kiri skrin yang warna kuning tu, itu merupakan Shijo Takane dari Idol Master. And sorry, it's not Shijo Takane yang warna maroon tu. Yang warna kuning tu is Asame Lilith from Trinity 7. Yosh, anyway, back to segmen pertama. So, segmen ini Perang Diisytiharkan Sensora. Seperti kita lihat di pengakhiran episod 8, di mana Albedo tiba ke RSTZ menghadap Raja Ramposa ketiga, dan mengatakan bahawa Nazarick akan declare perang regardless whether or not Raja tu nak give his own head to save his nation's fate. So, soalan pertama saya akan tujukan kepada Anri. Let me just tuju. Apakah pendapat anda tentang pengisytiharan perang ke atas RSTZ oleh kerajaan Nazarick setelah berlakunya insiden serbuan ke atas konvoi bantuan makanan dari kerajaan Nazarick untuk oleh segelintir golongan bangsawan picisan dari RSTZ? Dan adakah deklarasi ini semata-mata untuk cover line kegagalan perancangan Albedo untuk melemahkan RSTZ secara dalaman dengan memperlagakan pihak-pihak tertentu dalam negara tersebut? Because the original plan was trying to just use all this so-called low-level nobles nak bagi diorang kecoh-kecoh and melemahkan kerajaan tu dari dalam. Tapi tengok sekarang mamaknya berani tapi bukan pasal terror sangat, pasal dia bodoh. And then now look what happened. So silakan.
Okay, the original plan is to weaken the kingdom so that the nobles would split and fight among themselves. And Albedo, she's more upset that they actually try to challenge Ainz punya kingdom, Social Kingdom, by attacking the punya convoy. The plan actually was to weaken the kingdom, and this actually does not change the fact that with this action, right, the kingdoms punya nobles kan have splitted into two. Satu yang ikut the king, and the second is the new faction yang going for themselves lah. Yelah. So in the big picture, it's not much of a difference out. Everything is still according to plan. Ainz Sasuga sama lah. Basically punya grand plan is still at work, is still under dalam tangan. Albedo is just upset that people are actually challenging directly now. That's why when this thing happened, and she was upset, and because of it was like, oh shit, they are fighting directly against us. They dare to attack our caravan directly now. And when that happens, at first she wanted to cover her line with ice cup because this seemed like, oh, that means her ability to actually make sure the project goes 100%. Don't get me wrong. When they attack the convoy, right, it's like the plan works at 90%. But if they did attack, right, it's only 100% efficiency. When they attack, the first person did not cover line. Is basically to punish Hilma, the woman from the the 10 fingers. But that didn't happen, so she was surprised.
Lapar fingers.
Yeah. And
because at the end of the day pun macam yang, if I'm not mistaken lah, if you look at it, Ains yang macam kata, kita kena ajar dia orang for, doing this, knowing full well that's our stuff, because you provoking us directly, so we have to teach them a lesson. Because as much as the albedo ada juga her own feelings about it, I feel that masa dia ke Reaksi, masa menghadap Raja Ramposa tu, she's basically bringing the word of her, her king. Shaz, have you got any opinion on this question?
Actually, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Isn't it like overreacting to attack the entire kingdom as opposed to diserang the entire kingdom because a small faction yang buat hal? Padahal, isn't it better kalau katakan they point out that we have identified these people as culprits in your nation, and we're going to attack those groups sahaja. So it's a very interesting question from an outsider punya perspective. Mungkin sebab they will explain further in future episodes lah kot. But as it is, dia dah terus, there was a time skip kan? Sebulan berapa ke?
The time skip was, as I said before, episode 8, between episode 8 dan 7, for the film. But itu tak ada kena-mengena dengan why dia nak attack Reaksi ni pun. But the only relation to the film with episode 8, we are doing episode pilihan sekarang. Episode 8 sebelum ni is because the grain, the bantuan bijiran kepada Holy Kingdom, and because kita macam Holy Kingdom kan, kita takkan tahu Holy Kingdom until wayang tu. So macam tu macam apa hal ada Holy Kingdom ni, siapa lah? Because this Holy Kingdom memang bukan slain. Just nak reiterate kepada penonton di rumah, because the full name the Holy Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken, is called the Robles Holy Kingdom. It's totally in the west. Is in the west of the country. Kalau ada peta Overlord yang besar sikit, you can see on the net. So, I feel like sharing, but it's not even on the. Let's hope it's not gonna, just a quick one really. So macam
lain sharingnya ni.
Macam baik gambar halal. Anyway, so apa, kalau kita tengok peta ni,
peta kan, dunia ni,
peta dunia tu, where the sign that says Overlord, Holy Kingdom tu dekat situ. So the crest yang gambar kuda tengah prancing tu is Holy Kingdom. Yang obviously can you boleh nampak okay arrow. So basically Nazarick kat sini, Erantel kat sini, Reaksi punya royal capital kat sini. So Holy Kingdom yang kita tak tengok lagi tu kat sini. Baharu as I said, dia di timur, Nazarick is kat sini. Slain kat bawah selatan. Negara-negara yang kita tak jumpa lagi would be like the council, Alglen Council Estate, the Elf Kingdom kat bawah, dan beberapa lagi lah. So obviously sekarang ni kita dah volume ke-14 dalam kita punya dalam light novel yang ditulis oleh Maruyama. But currently it's volume 16. So kita dah macam cakap itu. So we won't be seeing season 5 for a good while yet lah. So we had to wait 4 years I think between season 3 and season 4. So we won't see season 5 for a good while yet because obviously he need to write the story. Because so apa-apa dia nak buat dekat Slane ke apa, because I can just give a teaser yang very minor spoiler that volume 15 baru kita pergi ke Elf Kingdom. Tapi in what kind of reason, obviously you have to find out nantilah. But yeah, gosh, I punya duk cakap pasal peta sekarang dah nak patah balik ke mana. Tadi your soalan was
why, kenapa serang the entire kingdom when
nanti yeah, because after that nanti kita akan deal with it in my next set of questions.
Let me explain a bit.
Go ahead.
Perumpamaan lah. Just say you're in a relationship with a woman and you are tired of that woman, okay? Because of her bad habits and basically because maybe you're interested in another person, whatever the reasons is lah. You'll find fault kan anything just to terminate the relationship. This is the same as what Einstein is doing. He wanted to conquer the kingdom in one way. The one way dia nak melemahkan. So when this thing happens kan, it's just more fire to the fuel. The grand plan is the same. It's just that the way things happen is a bit different. So it doesn't matter who's at fault. I still want to take the kingdom.
And then interesting to see Catherine the Great here ada teori mengatakan Ainz nak buat perang ni sebab untuk menambahkan kelompok adventurous sebab ada lelaki rambut biru tu nak ikut perang dalam kingdom tu. I can't remember lelaki rambut biru yang mana
Brains tadi.
Dia training
budak-budak. Brain in gloves. Because kita akan tunjuk brain gloves in a bit because which is your question, Syaz. Why don't we go to that question now? So soalan for Syaz is, adakah anda merasakan usaha untuk memperkasakan re-estetism melalui program latihan ketenteraan untuk rakyat negara itu dari golongan muda-mudi, satu yang sia-sia, lebih-lebih lagi apabila kekuatan pihak NAZARICK di medan perang sudah tertera oleh mereka yang terselamat, termasuk Brain on Gloves sendiri. I mean, you seen what he did at the padang jarak, padang terkukur, dengan lepaskan all those big goods, the nigurats. Apa pendapat you?
You're breaking up.
I'm breaking up. I better get rid of this thing.
Basically, dia summon 5 kambing shoot nigurat tu kan?
Tapi can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Boleh.
Okay. Did you hear the full question ke I broke up tengah-tengah ke macam mana tadi?
Aku dengar kambing hitam, lepas tu shoot nigurat.
Okay, that's right. No, well, basically I was just reiterating the question that those kind of things everybody has seen. So apa gunanya kita nak belajar lawan pedang anyway? By teaching the kids, anak-anak yatim ni, you know, the swordsmanship to get ready for the upcoming battle.
Well, bila you dah ada when you're teaching dia orang how to do fighting and all this, dia akan jadi macam first their parents dah mati, a lot of them. Okay, so now they are relearning how to fight. Dia sama macam the scenario di mana with all the wolfman dengan the lizard man and all that.
Yes.
By having a majority of the people dah mati, and then the new generation they will rebuild the nation. So by having them train dalam martial arts and sword fighting and all this, because they will either fight because now they will fight harder because now either the country needs them or dia orang akan benci sangat dengan the NAZARICK punya center ni, such that they will work extra hard to try to regain what was lost, regardless of whichever niat the kids will have. They will be doubly dia akan lebih rajin lah nak belajar. So why bother doing this is because they cannot be there everywhere.
Yeah.
They cannot be everywhere at any moment. So dia kena ada lah orang yang boleh mempertahankan dia. So if they have their sense of nationality, you know, the Reaksi people to defend Reaksi, ultimately under di bawah naungan NAZARICK ni, it works. Because they can now, bila dia macam kita buat business tau. Kita dah ada secure business kat sini, kita kumpul duit sikit, kita buat business satu lagi. Dah ada banyak duit kat sini, kita buat lagi business kat situ. So in this case, Ain's punya goal is to capture kingdoms lah instead of buat business.
Yeah. Because also if you remember, if you could look kat overlay tu kan, for example, I duduk kat sini. Yang tengah tu lah gambar Brain bercakap dengan a member of the school of sword fighting, because you kena ingat kalau dalam opening credits ada gambar macam this old guy with who looks like a ninja master or sword master. That guy is actually nama dia Master Vesture. I mean his name was mentioned by that girl. He's the mentor to the late Gazef Stronov.
Yep.
And he was an old adventurer lah, and dia punya sekolah pedang ni memang dekat Reaksi, but at the same time pun macam dia being pragmatic. Dia orang tahu macam lepas tengok how Ain belasah gila tentera Reaksi kan, it's like you know, kita bawa lari lah budak-budak ni. And because Brain pun cakap, at least kalau aku mati pun kita ajar dia lawan pedang ni, at least they have the skills in their hearts when they grow up. And they were mentioning a few things, because I think they were mentioning ni benda pasal Overlord ni tau, macam kena tengok 3-4 kali. I actually had to watch it again to listen to what they were saying. And they actually mentioned this state up in the north called the Arglan Council State. And diorang nak bawa lari budak-budak ni ke situ. And kan dia cakap kan, the master has said, I let one of my disciples go with the kids. And kan Brain macam, oh ya ke, thank you. And mamak tu macam angguk kan. So macam I think diorang pun at the same time, walaupun nak ajar, I think they're being pragmatic as well. They know like, if we can get these guys out, we get them out. Because they have a feeling lah, Ain's not giving them any quarter whatsoever.
I wouldn't say that. It's more like you when you are brought to a different nation that is not under Ain's, the level of protection will be lower, so they're forced to become better people or better fighters to survive.
I pun tak ingat sangat. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
And also, they might be concerned if Ain's dah provide security to the undead patrol and whatnot. What would Ain's feel? I mean, this is from the perspective of the trainers. Right? What would Ain's feel kalau tiba-tiba we start growing a huge academy of sword fighters?
But actually, this will bring us. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, actually, this brings us to the next segment juga, because actually in the next segment, we can see what actually Ain's cakap dalam next segment ni, what he's planning to do, which is actually something different than what we thought as a viewer yang memakai kacamata manusia yang thinking secara modern, secara we macam kan last week kita cakap macam kalau tengok dari kacamata orang yang sensible, alah kesian lah women and children, tapi back to the reality of this alam where, as you say, might is right and it's like Game of Thrones. Orang-orang macam kalau you dah marhin, your nyawa memang macam diorang kata kalau kita orang mati lah, because that's how it is, which is a bit unfortunate. But I've got one question here from sebelum kita go to the next segment, from Catherine the Great. Jadi Putra Zanak ni anak kedua kan, kenapa nak jadikan dia sebagai raja? So you have to remember dalam season ketiga, abang dia yang macam perasan macho, ingat semua terror, dia pergi serang kampung Kani, dia sendiri mati, unfortunately dibunuh oleh dengan those goblin yang red collar tu.
Tahu, tapi there was someone else yang bunuh dia kan?
No, that was Lupus Regina, one of the Pleiades mate kan dia kan
One of the mates yang bunuh ni.
Mr. Sebastian. But with her because masa tu kan gosh tak. Ni lah menyebab apa nama girl yang the matriarch of the village yang dapat the goblin whistle kali tu, sekarang semua goblin dia punya
Bukan nama dia Anri ke? Itu yang aku nak tergelak.
Anri Alwi. Oh Anri, I didn't know that you had goblins on you. Because masa at the end of that season when she called lagi gempak punya, because these are like massive armies and elite goblin soldiers.
Itu
sebenarnya kan, it's not Anri, A-N-R-I, it's actually E-N-R-I. If it was A-N-R-I kan, he would not summon goblins, he would summon Amazons or something like that lah.
Dia akan smuggle Mak Uzaki ramai-ramai. Dia oh, sebab ada R15. Anyway.
Tapi yang that one dia punya magic item tu is actually a very logical thing if you look at it from a gaming perspective. Sebab dia benda tu dia akan bagi the summon will get stronger as you improve your relationship with the goblins. Dalam any RPG, mana ada player berbaik dengan goblin?
Memang betul. Goblin is like low class punya fodder kan. Even though you could end up taking quest lines, adventures to help goblins in probably in Ainz punya MMO ni, but why bother? Because apa yang goblin boleh bagi kita? Tengok ni so,
je bila
goblin saya kan kerja dia bunuh goblin dia.
So bila Anri
don't underestimate goblins lah.
So bila Anri berkawan baik dengan dia orang naturally, to the point dah jadi member, dah kenal nama. You bayangkan tau, she knows the name of every goblin tau. So dia orang macam like, dia kenal nama kita tu, dia tahu nama kita. We're not just goblins by the roadside.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why bila dia orang bila dia pakai balik that thing at the moment of need, bala tentera turun. Kau tahu, aku tengok episode tu for the first time macam like, what? I macam like, terkejut kan?
Yeah, exactly. I did a bit of reading up. Apparently yang goblin yang ada collar merah tu, those are like elite goblins, and people were saying you need to send just the two of them. They're something like the Death Warriors and Death Knight lah. Tapi the fact that Abang Zanek tu kena bunuh masa Lupus Regina ada kat situ kan nampak darah memancup-mancup because they all just jump on him. So
dia
like
kalau dalam RPG those red sash or whatever, the red coloured punya clothing tu, most likely you akan jumpa at the level 50 or 60 punya zone lah.
Okay,
the highest end goblin punya fighting areas lah.
The goblin yang Anri Ahmed summon the second time kan, they were taken from obviously they're goblins, but they follow the law of the Romance of Three Kingdom. The advisor is Kong Ming shape, and the red cap white feathers, right, it's from Chen Dao punya law. Chen Dao is actually a Liu based head of security, chief of bodyguard, and his level is actually same as Zhou Yun, that the guy in the Romance of Three Kingdom that's become the hero that berani lawan 10,000 orang lah. If you see the Dynasty Warriors, right, that's quite high level warrior tau. It's like pada command pun it's like 70-80 out of 100 tau.
Yep.
Just
tapi
a
yang aku paling
go ahead.
Yang aku paling suka is when the Conming General Goblin tu, dia berjumpa dengan the first few goblins tu yang menjaga enrichment. Dia tabik tau. You are the personal guard of the General Anri. So macam member tu macam kita baju pun kau yang rabak ni, kau bagi kita personal guard. But they know. That means dalam part of the magic item punya ni is they know who will spawn first, and that kind of thing. And they've been around since forever. So itulah, I really like the moment. The surprise factor, yes. You see goblin, magic caster ada, knights ada, archers, spearmen, macam gila babi banyak je kan. But when the general talk to them in bow and respect kan, macam like, wow, that small detail shows how important those goblins were tau.
And also I think at the end of the day pun, I don't know whether she knows it or not, NAZARICK has her back because obviously Khan village was the first village that Irons encountered and basically kind of gotten control because macam tu hutang budi, he was the one that gave her the trumpet to call the goblins and whatnot.
Yep.
So and obviously kalau NAZARICK doesn't have their back, why would Lupus Regina would sibuk kacau nak bunuh Barbro semua kan. Just a follow up to just now sebab Brazanak tak ada sokongan bahasa, but also the fact that Abang dia dah tak ada, so and then when he's a bit ambitious, actually there's going to be I kind of know what's going to happen, but benda ni episode 10 punya material kita akan tengok nanti. Tapi but yalah, Abang dia tak ada, so because dia pun kat situ and then the father is actually because masalahnya anime dia tak macam put everything out in detail compared to what's in the light novel. The king Ramposa was actually still shaken psychologically from because he witnessed what happened on Katze plains when they had the battle when the goats just demolished his army.
Yeah,
just like that.
he purposely put the prince out of danger, but he didn't know that the prince can actually stir up a hornet's nest when they attack the village.
Yeah, and also the fact that he actually saw Gazev, which is his right hand. I mean, dia punya mati. I mean, kalau tengok pun, just quickly, I mean, unfortunately, let me just get rid of this question. Bottom picture of the overlay is the sword, razor edge yang masa Gazev one on one PvP dengan Irons kan. Because if I did a bit of reading that it's actually a very powerful sword. It's got this thing called sharpness affinity, and it's supposed to have harmed Irons. But kalau you dengar apa Brain cakap, tapi I saw it with my own eyes, pedang tu tak sampai pun badan Irons. So macam if it had sampai, they could have had proof that this pedang can hurt Irons. But because the reason that it didn't hurt him because the pedang tak sampai, and then Irons just killed.
Irons himself confirmed that sword can kill him.
Kan masa dia tengok kan.
One of the basic requirements bila kita nak lawan 1v1, both opponents must be able to injure each other lah. So dia minta,
no point.
Dia minta kata, may I inspect your sword? Brain dah kata, kimak ni dah nak berperang minta pedang pula kan. Tapi Gazev dia tahu dia ni jahat tapi ada honor. Okay, so dia bagi tengok pedang, dia test, this one can cut through my defenses. So that means it's a very high level weapon lah.
Yeah, exactly.
Most likely saya punya teori Brazil is that later on somebody will be able to wield this weapon and actually engage Irons in actual combat.
Whether or not it was told in the conversation in this episode or in the prior episode, the reason why Brain got the sword, apparently Renner gave it to him after the death of Gazev. So she gave it to him. But now kita dah fikir kan, Renner ni macam tali barut kan, apa dia bagi or whatever. Whether or not that's part of her conniving plans, I have no idea. But anyway, so kita dah macam tadi dah jawab soalan dan komen daripada penonton di rumah, and I think it's time for us to go to. Sekarang kita beralih ke segmen yang kedua.
Ada.
Yes, segmen kedua is DISSENT among the rank and file. So actually kat segmen ni, okay, ni nampak macam I terbalikkan. Ada sebabnya pasal ini chronological order yang betul. Actually overlay ni menunjukkan satu part of the story which happened first before. Kan lepas kita tengok borak-borak Brain dengan sekolah lawan pedang tu, diorang dekat NAZARICK punya conference room, Irons tengah tunjuk, okay, this is what happened to whatever cities and whatever. Tapi just a little background actually, you guys have noticed kan that walaupun Albedo dah cakap dekat Reaksi, I'll give you a month to get ready. In 1 month time kita perang. NAZARICK dah start dah. Dia dah start attacking pekan-pekan kecil yang in fact annihilating this pekan-pekan kecil. Because this will be the reason why kita tengok dalam in our third segment nanti why they attack E-NAEURL tu. That one chronologically that will be just about a month. Because when NAZARICK attack all these other places, Reaksi centrally tak tahu tau. Because kita kena ingat juga dalam komen tu dia kata kat Demiurgus, terima kasih for your good work on distorting all the communications between this. And then in the meeting dia cakap, because we have to teach these guys a lesson, we will annihilate them. Everybody, total annihilation. So macam as much as kita tadi dah discuss kan, mungkin nak guna orang pedang ke apa, dia tak peduli, dia nak buang. Because now dalam ni we are being introduced to this character called Negredo. Just a quick one. Dia adik kepada Albedo.
Oh shit.
Very
Veteran.
scary looking. Anri kenal the Seiyu?
Yes, Kasumi Tendo and what's that? Beldendi, Ahmad Gades and Ranma. Yeah.
There you go. Dia nama dia Inui Kikuko. So dia ni macam season lah.
Let me add one thing. Kasumi Tendo is one of my favorite myth character in anime.
Dia bukan akak-akak ke?
She has the ara-ara in
yalah.
the early days.
Tapi dia macam innocent. Tapi I like her. I've not read Beldendi. I'm aware of her, but I have not watched.
Beldendi. This earth is better.
Yeah. Sorry. Syaz nak kata something tadi?
Tak. Aku giling kepala je. Main fanta.
Okay. As usual. So soalan ni untuk Syaz. Adakah anda berasa terkejut wujudnya ketidaksetujuan dari Negredo dan juga Pestonia, which is the dog-faced head maid of NAZARICK, and also the area guardian arah 9 untuk melenyapkan keseluruhan populasi yakni manusia Reaksi termasuk golongan wanita dan kanak-kanak? Dan adakah alasan dari Ains bahawa potensi umat manusia untuk berinovasi adalah satu sifat yang membahayakan masa depan NAZARICK yang diberikan agak keterlaluan? Your opinion please.
I think in this case Ains is correct. But at the same time, their opinions also matter. So that's why kita tengok that scene bila dia jumpa, the central issue dia, sebenarnya dia macam dia confused tau. Aku nak go with my grand plan ke, or is aku punya people ni punya opinions, kalau kita tak ikut, will it cause them to rebel in the future? Dia risau itu je, because the people under in NAZARICK, do they really still have absolute loyalty kepada dia? This is something which he cannot fathom just yet, because takkan kau nak pergi tanya, adakah kau mesti taat setia kepada aku? Of course they will say yes. Takkan you nak guna magic to determine dia orang punya ini, because then they will know. They will know exactly that you probing them and whatnot, and they akan cakap, alamak, kau tak percaya ke?
Because when I was reading that is quote, I can't remember whether the quote is from the book or whether this is quote from our world. The powerful stagnate, but the weak get stronger. So you can itulah.
I'm not sure where that phrase comes from lah, because
but I can see the point, because the weak bila ditindas over the years, macam cerita Robin Hood lah, when lambs become lion or whatever it was, yang cerita yang ada Russell Crowe jadi Robin Hood.
It happens in every single scenario, business, sports, competitive punya games. Even kalau kita tengok macam how do people as good as Gary Kasparov dalam chess maintain dia punya level of ability? Because he plays non-stop. That is the only way to become great. How do people macam in tennis, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, Djokovic semua ni, they become good because they keep on practicing. Because the moment they relax, they tak keep pressing on the pedal, you will lose momentum. And that is when the weaker people akan take over. Which kalau kita patah balik to the question tadi, humans are very innovative. And the danger kat sini ialah rakyat Nazarick look down on humans as a whole. Even though they may have human punya features and whatnot, but they do not consider themselves to be human.
No.
They are Nazarick people.
Yeah, they're
betul-betul look like humans.
Yes.
So because of that, Ainz, the player, is a human. He understands how humans think. That's why he has to make that hard choice of eliminating everyone, despite mungkin membuat dia orang ni dua sedih ke apa ke. We don't know what's going to happen lah.
But apa kan? Sorry. Go ahead.
Mungkin they might have a final Ainz might have a final act of mercy lah. Dia akan wipe out to the last castle ke apa ke. Lepas tu dia kata mungkin dia bawa ni sebagai mercy, permintaan atas saya punya these two people, I'm going to spare your castle only.
Yeah. Because it brings us to this situation at the moment in the overlay ni kan, because this is the first scene that they showed. So because kalau you ingat lepas Ainz do explain we are going to destroy everybody, we're going to actually kalau tengok kat peta kat tengah tu nampak ada pangkar. The peta yang the biggest square tu is the royal capital. So basically part of the reason why he's annihilating all the villages around, dia nak macam make sure tak ada bantuan from the outside tau. So gosh man. Tapi after he explained to that, he turned around the chair and he was playing with his feather, going, how am I explaining? How can I explain this to them? Because they will not agree. Because he has taken in apa Negredo dengan Pestonia suggest, have some mercy, selamatkan some people. And then because he has considered that, and I think he has acted on it as well. Tapi macam dia tahu lah. Dia orang cuba kata, apasal nak selamatkan? Kita nak destroy dia orang habis-habis kan? So actually Anri, this is for you. So basically, as I said, Ainz telah melakukan first strike sebelum tempoh 1 bulan untuk berakhir. Di mana beberapa kota dan perkampungan di luar kota utama Reaksi sudah dihancurkan. And now sebulan telah berlalu dari masa Albedo membawa deklarasi perang ke atas Reaksi. Apakah pendapat anda tentang taktik Ainz yang nampaknya dijalankan secara berperingkat dan tidak in one fell swoop? I mean, you would have argued, I mean, if they're all that powerful, why don't we just, get rid of things in one fell swoop? As I say, they've got, I don't know, powerful creatures in their arsenal. So, macam semuanya waktu serangan olok-olok Jaldabaoth on Reaksi in season 2 lagi. So it's all berperingkat, macam he created this fake enemy. So you mula-mula kita ingat kan, nak buat nampak macam Ainz akan tolong a country in need. I'll get rid of Jaldabaoth for you. Now it's gonna destroy Reaksi anyway. So silakan, what's your opinion?
Okay, a lot of fans would be like the Floor Guardians lah. They would think Ainz has a grand plan, grand strategy on dia punya methods lah, on having survivors. And to be honest Ainz was actually both honest and lying when he said this is part of my grand plan, I'll tell you in the future. And then he turns around, main dengan the goose feather, right, tarik bulu, and then said, I'm just going to leave it to my future self, the problem, because he wasn't having a plan. Dia hanya ikut at the time kan Pestoria dengan Negredo punya request, because Pestoria dan Negredo kan, they follow dia punya creators punya character tau, which is basically a merciful characters inside Nazarick lah. They had a conscience, okay, we will go to war, we will kill people, but not all of them, because not all of them are guilty of their sins lah, or some sort. The other Floor Guardians don't give a fuck. they just kill them all and be done with it.
Hmm.
But to be honest kan, I think even though Irons kata kan, oh I'll leave the future to my future, I'll leave the problem to my future self. I think part of him kan wanted to do something that he wanted to do since the beginning of season 5, season 4 tau, or season 3 when apa shelter kena control. He wants to draw out other players to the field.
Yes.
Yeah, so by having survivors kan out kan, they would spread news kan, oh fuck, Nazari has destroyed our village or town, and they're killing people like shit. We're basically like the only 1% that survived now.
The carrot and stick tactic yang disebutkan, carrot and stick.
Carrot and stick.
Yeah, okay, anyway.
So when they spread news like that kan, it will spread towards other people rapidly now, because bad news travels very fast now. Bad news travel very fast. And apparently it works, because a lot of people are afraid. They just imagine if like Singapore has been invaded by NAZARICK, okay, Singapore, and then the survivors go to Johor, and then Johor kan they are afraid of NAZARICK going up north. So the people there kan, they found news. What are they gonna do? They're going to stay there and risk being overrun, or they would want dia punya family up in Perak or Perlis, and then try to move as far away from the place as possible. People are moving. People who do not want to fight are getting the fuck away, and people who have vested interest or wanted to see Nazir by themselves, they would remain and go to the source. So basically, what he wants now is to get all the fodders out, and to get all the fighters and potential enemy kan to gather and stay put and confront them. So it's working.
Syah, ada komen apa-apa?
I think the slow attack is to display the fact that they couldn't care less, and we don't have to rush, because we have all the time in the world. Why should we, serang?
Don't you think it's like
resources?
Don't you think it's a preconceived idea? That's not the right way to it. Macam, don't you think macam mungkin dia buat berperingkat tu ada sebab, macam kita buat macam ni dulu supaya manusia akan berfikiran macam ni. Oh, saya diselamatkan.
Dia macam ni. Because in any fantasy setting, humans are not well equipped to fight zombies. And when an undead army, dia bergerak from place to place, they will always increase their numbers. The newly killed humans will be raised as zombies. Ada some game book apa pernah main dulu, dia macam tu lah. Dia akan pergi, they start with a core of very strong undead. They will attack one village, all the villagers dah mati, they naik as zombies. So as you go from town to town, your core troops tak payah nak fight as much dah. You can just bring the zombies ni. Then you can start attacking 2 villages. After 2 villages, you jadi 4. That kind of thing. And bila as opposed, dia macam ni tau. One of the things I rasa dia orang nak buat is to actually spread fear in the kingdom, because the fear might be some magical ingredient in dia punya magic powers. I do not know, but regardless, it does not use as much resources. So you just need to send a few commanders, and then just make sure the undead grow naturally lah. As you go from village to village, don't blasah everybody.
Actually, terfikir juga, Nazarick dia manpower dia cukup tak? Rasa macam tak cukup kan? Pernah dia mention tak? Rasanya pernah dia sebutkan, bukan dah macam tak cukup, macam
they have the power of plot. They have enough to do whatever the plot demands. But on the actual physical numbers, dia tak mention. Cuma kita expect banyak je lah. Sebab dia orang punya level yang yang the 2 elf ni, adik-beradik tu, dia punya level
Mare dengan Aura tu.
Mare dengan Aura tu kan, it was an arena.
Yeah.
So the arena itself was huge. It was a separate dimension, sub-dimension. So I imagine they will have sub-dimensions yang penuh dengan warriors ready to fight. But again, the fear of fighting zombies of people you could potentially know is more psychologically damaging than actually fighting the full might of Nazarick. Then you just feel despair.
Yeah, and lagi
Yelah, you tahu, when you have fear, you might run away. When you run away and you don't die, you will spread the panic. Macam Anri kata kan, bad news travel very fast. And the panic will spread faster. Tapi kalau kau despair, kau duduk situ je.
Because like for example, like
dah nak mati dah, duduk sini je lah.
Because
drink my last beer apa ke, going to die. That will be despair. But fear, they might run away. If they run away, they'll spread the news, cause even more fear and panic, so it become a chain reaction. So it's a long-term strategy lah.
Yeah. Can you hear me tadi?
Yeah.
Alright, okay. And also, I mean, he got those death knights and death warriors. They are very strong. Tapi as much as I'll be interested to see. Nanti kita nak go ke segmen ketiga just in a bit. When the attack on E-NAEURL occurred, and dia hantar 2 ekor je benda tu. And yet benda tu apparently, yalah, dia memang very kuat, which is probably why he's confident of sending just the 2, because but kita dah tengok juga in the past. Okay, forget about the bit where they just fell down the chasm masa dekat Dwarf Kingdom tu, but dia punya Death Warrior or Death Knight tu pernah kena tangkap by the was it the Baharus punya ni tak? Dia punya kan ada satu magician tu, they tied all of them.
Yeah.
So they managed. Some people can tangkap, these people if they're smart enough. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, but it's a different Death Knight and Death Warrior. They summon through lost magic. And then when bila dah summon, it was not under control because the magic caster who summoned them, right, doesn't have the level of power to actually control them. They have the power to summon them.
I see.
Control them is a different story. So they can capture because they're ready. But you see in the first season kan, they mention kan one of these could destroy an entire city by themselves. It so happens kan, okay, Nazarick is different. They can summon, create and control not only one but legions of Death Warrior.
The one dekat Baharus tu Mamat tu buat sendiri. It's not the one from Nazarick, is it?
It is summoned
by the apa nama Mamat tu, the magician of Nazarick, of Baharus yang dapat Book of the Dead tu. I can't remember his name. Sorry, saya sebagai host tak kerti ingat nama. But you know
I forgot his name, but you know what I'm talking about lah.
Yeah.
The guy with the janggut.
Yeah.
So he can summon. But okay, katakan if you're a magic user yang tak tied to Nazarick kan, you can summon a Death Knight. You summon them in the battlefield. Benda tu muncul and it becomes amok. You kill your people, kill the enemy. That's how they used it in that world pre-Nazarick.
That's it. Fluder nama dia. Fluder.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you watch the previous season kan, when the Emperor pergi nak make peace with Ainz kan.
Yes.
He gave a jar, the head of the noble who actually is responsible for the Tom punya expedition. He just took the head and created one. So basically it's not even a summon, it's a transfiguration or some magic or something like that lah. Macam yang
isn't that how Ainz create this Death Warriors anyway? Because kalau kita tengok season 1 masa dekat Karni tu, when those warriors died, then he made askar-askar tu mati, dia buatkan jadi this Death Knight and Warriors accordingly lah, whether or not the person tu was a warrior or a knight or whatever lah.
So basically he may had there's a lot of the during the previous season banyak explorer dah mati. A lot of them were tortured and died. So I'm pretty sure they will be used as
and bearing in mind he killed lots of people in the previous battles. easy.
Yeah, so you can just imagine kan, he probably killed a lot of people behind the scenes kan, and use the body as body parts and apa body parts and of maybe someone to undead army. I think I told Shaz last week, a lot of things happens behind the scenes yang Ains tahu tapi dia buat dirt. Example, DIISYTIHARKAN punya sheep farm.
Oh yes.
The sheep is not sheep. It's human. Manusia. And the scrolls yang dia buat tu kan, dia boleh kulit manusia. It's the book of the dead, some sort of bullshit lah.
Tapi itulah. Anyway, kita sekarang beralih ke komen dan soalan dari penonton dan rumah. I've got a few comments and questions, and nicely done some of the comments answering the questions. So basically, just a quick one from Catherine the Great. Nigredo ni kenapa suruh Ains turun ke tempat dia? Tak sekali dengan mesyuarat. Dia ni NPC special ke? Dia memang NPC created by the same people, by the same member of Ains Olgun in the original Yggdrasil game. I think Tabula nama dia. So he created Albedo. He created and then he created Nigredo. Dia actually ada cerita sikit. Pasal dia dekat level 5 tu. That thing is a prison. At the time when they met, when he met her, because this is her first appearance in the anime, dia pernah di reference dalam live novel, in the light novel atau episode season yang lepas, if I'm not mistaken. Tapi dia, what she is at the moment, kalau mengikut live novel lah, dia, kalau you ingat masa kita bedah last week kan, masa episode pertama for season 4 yang macam ada suggestion daripada one of the Pleiades, or is it one of the maids, that they have an orphanage at Erantel to house all the orphans lah of those kids whose fathers died in the war, yang baru-baru ni dalam season 3. So Nigredo dan Pestonia are the two NPCs yang jadi caretakers. Tak penakutkan ke your caretaker muka macam Nigredo tu? Then she has a history. Kalau kau tengok macam Yasir's comment here, Nigredo ni minat bayi aja, lepas besar dia terus bunuh aja. which is because that's the thing. Tapi I find that a bit of a mindfuck juga lah, pardon my Japanese, the fact that, you know, because diorang ni bukan human beings kan. Dia kata, well, we've got these two people who like kids, why don't they run the orphanage? The fact that Nigredo is a bit twisted. Look at the scissor dripping with blood. I have no idea where the blood is from. Mula-mula aku ingat she peels her own face, but that's what she looks like. And also there's another reason why it's a prison. Obviously when they met her, she was kind of like there. I referred to her in the first overlay as akak kawasan. Tu level 5, dia area guardian. Dia bukan floor guardian. Floor guardian ni yang obviously people like
Albedo.
And Albedo is actually kepala of all floor guardian, because floor kelima yang IC frozen ni is under Cocytus. So the prison apparently ada 2 level, satu above ground, satu below ground. So probably floor 5 is probably just about at the level of ground floor lah. So floor 5 dia area guardian. Nigredo is area guardian for floor 5, but not mentioned in the anime, but in the light novel, Marcel Jaldabaoth pretty much attacked Reaksi, if you remember kan, yang that inferno happened, and then they said, what happened to 1/3 of the population kan, missing kan, to make this sheep farm kan. So dalam sheep farm tu not just adults, kids and babies. So the Pestonia and Nigredo, because diorang sayang budak-budak perversely or whatever, they want to selamatkan them. They selamatkan this, wanted to get the kids out, and she was in prison. And this is commented by Yase, who obviously reads. So basically in that season 2 incident, so she's been dalam dia area guardian tu pun sebenarnya tu penjaga dia. That's why she's like hidden. So where she lives in the prison is behind that door yang ada mother and child, yang muka child tu rosak. It's a bit screwed up jugalah, macam considering the fact that you know, if you read about her, she only likes babies and infants, but after that age, she doesn't like them anymore. But
To be fair, I understand her feelings lah. Bayi bila lahir comel, but when they started to move around kan, then become little assholes lah, the ankle biters.
Just a quick one last question. Actually, kenapa Negredo bagi Ais makan biskut? I think Negredo masa tu dia tengah explain. Dia kata kan inovasi manusia kan. Dia kata biskut ni resepi lama dekat Iranta, tapi over the years bila bahan makanan jadi murah dan semuanya, dia orang improve on it, and now it's so nice and delicious and you know, crispy. Have a try. Dah lah mamak tu tak boleh rasa. Nampak dia masa dia makan terus jatuh.
I appreciate Overlord doing this tau, because they know he's an undead. And dia saja nak layan these people, and then they actually did the animation kan, digigit and then thing fell out the throat. They didn't have to, but it's funny because we know, because people the viewers gonna ask macam mana nak makan dia adik kan. Now we see what happens lah.
Itulah. Kita pernah tengok tak pernah, ni first time kita tengok, and thank you Naoki.
Dia kakak ke adik?
Kakak.
Oh, dia kakak. Dia bukan adik. Dia bukan Albedo first and then Negredo and then let me have a look what is my notes. Oh, I beg your pardon. Minta maaf. Ya, betul. Dia kakak kepada Albedo. Dia orang ada adik lagi, tapi at the moment gambar pun tak ada, nama je sebut dalam
I've heard of the adik. Very interesting.
Ya, tapi itulah. Sorry, minta maaf ya. Negredo adalah kakak kepada Albedo.
Semua ada do kat belakang ni, bahaya ke tu?
Itulah apa macam abang dia nama Masdo. Okay, anyway. Rubedo. Yes, adik dia nama Rubedo. Anyway, so yes, terima kasih kepada pembaca di rumah, penonton di rumah memberi soalan dan komentar. Okay, sekarang kita akan beralih ke segmen kita yang ketiga.
Ada.
Ya, selamat. Okay, sekarang as usual, E-NAEURL, sebuah kota pelabuhan di bawah pentadbiran Count Naeura. Dia, bagi saya padam ni dulu. So kota ni kalau tengok peta tu, dia macam north on the coast tapi north, barat laut. So kota pelabuhan bawah Count Naeura. Dia seseorang daripada bangsawan tapi area luar bandar lah. So ini merupakan tempat yang antara tempat yang Nazarick plan nak attack, kerana mungkin dia expect tu, macam tadi kita nampak all the access around the mountains kan, yang tu dia nak prevent attack from negara-negara di barat, di timur laut. Ni kita ada tahu negara di barat laut, which is the Aglan Council State. Just a quick macam mana nak kata, menyimpang sikit, kalau kita ingat season kedua ada this big dragon, platinum dragon, berborak dengan this old lady nama Regret. That's where the Aglan Council State is, and it's a state run by demi-humans. Apparently they are sympathetic to humans, which is why Brain Unglaus plan nak bawa budak-budak yang anak yatim to smuggle to that state, with ditemani dengan seorang disciple Lord Venture tu. Tapi just sebelum kita bagi ulasan kat segmen ni, just nak bagi tunjuk kepada kita, obviously sekarang di introduce kepada beberapa karakter baru. Kita ada satu kumpulan pengembara yang they call themselves the Four Armaments. And Four Armaments ni level Mithril tapi bawah dari Adamantite. Tapi tak ingat macam mana dia orang buat dia punya order, tapi whatever it is, dia orang ni the strongest bunch of adventurers di E-NAEURL. Ni leader dia nama Skama Elbero, warrior class, Dia punya CEO dia Kitamura Eri, well known to people who have watched My Hero Academia sebagai Mina Shido, the acid secreting heroine, and she was also Kawashima Ami from Toradora. And then we also have our other new character yang sedikit pervert, nama Ririneto Piani. Sedikit probably is a bit of a understatement. Ririneto Piani, the priestess class. Dia punya voice actress nama Kanemoto Hisako. Dia Erina Nakiri from Food Wars. And Atra Mixta from Mobile Suit Gundam in Iron Blooded Orphan. Oh gelak, tahu kan siapa dia. Tapi she's, you know,
every time dia makan roti kan, dia naik syahwat. That's the one.
Walaupun naik syahwat sounds so wrong.
Bro, she's the perfect character to become a Shota Hunter because she had that voice actor training.
Exactly. Tapi itulah, the people at the studio announced all this thing really late. I mean, dia orang keluar sikit-sikit je because in fact this just came out. The news on who the actresses are came out on 31st of August on Twitter. That they've told us who Negredo, Lilinet and Skama. And dalam group For Armament ada 2 lagi anggota, tapi kesian tak ada nama. Tapi one of them is a magic caster, obviously Mamat Misai tu, dengan seorang lagi tu thief. So satu magic caster level dengan thief level. Anyway,
to be fair, we don't care about the male. We care about the
I know you don't. I know. Anyway, soalan pertama untuk Anri. Okay, apakah pandangan anda terhadap sikap kaum NAEURL yang agak chill menghadapi serangan dari NAZARICK yang secara efektif je satu Death Knight, satu Death Warrior, manakala yang lain tu kalau you tengok kan, undead yang nampak macam level zombie kampung pisang je, because they made the comment, ni semua zombie daripada undead daripada pekan-pekan lain yang NAZARICK decimated kan. I mean dia pun macam kita tahulah dia orang nak tempat-tempat lain semua mati, so buat apa aku nak lari, kan kena juga. So apa pendapat saudara tentang sikap agaknya? Silakan.
Okay, the guy is a lot level-headed than most of the characters in the world. Basically, he has a better sense of things happening than the nobles. Possibly one of the smarter characters in the story right now lah. He sees the undead, he can tell, like Skama kan, this undead kan comes from the fallen yang who fell by NAZARICK punya attack. They saw the shambling zombies. It's like those zombies from World War Z lah. This is all victims for the undead. And he can actually pick out the commanders from the, daripada jauh. And he is actually trying to lie, a liar. He lies to himself to be brave for others tau. He knows that if he run away with his family, the town will be, fell apart lah. There will be no decent defense. People will not be on the walls. So when he said that he and his family are there, right? I think he's lying. I think he's there, but the family dah
lari awal-awal lah.
Yeah. He knows if he stays kan, he will die. But for the sake of the people there, right? He has a responsibility. He said during perjumpaan dengan the other adventurers kan, I would like to run myself, but where can I run? He said that to reduce the fear among the adventurers, and then he made a joke. Siapa kalau this pervert nun nak pedang dia kena jadi gundik anak kecil dia, the 8-year-old 12-year-old boy, kesian lah. That perempuan memang I'm pretty sure she's not joking when she says she likes small boys. I think this is a jab towards the church. They always make jokes about the priests the altar boys and stuff. But this is total turnaround with the nun suka budak-budak kecil. So it's a dark comedy. Overlord they poke fun on dumb things apa.
Yeah. Probably taking a Mickey out of tropes yang kita nampak dekat anime kan. Like shotacons are everywhere in anime. Dalam Maid Dragon ada shotacon.
Yeah. And speaking of shotacons kan, apa this is a double standards. Kalau lelaki kan suka under perempuan kecil kan, it's cringe. But when a girl likes a small boy kan, it's that's so sweet, so touching. I'm like, fuck you. You rapist.
Double standard.
Double standard.
Syaz ada pendapat tentang this bit?
Okay, yang aku question betul-betul this part lah. Dia only port near town.
Yes.
They have access to the sea and whatnot.
Yes.
Tapi kita tak nampak any battleships at all.
Aku rasa dia orang ni kot fisherman kind of port, bukannya bukan naval port.
However, I'm pretty sure that they could have gotten, knowing that their country is going to war, at least position 1-2 lah, royal battleship kat situ with cannons and whatnot, protecting from the sea. And then kalau kau dah nampak askar datang from darat,
itulah
kapal tu. So the cannons akan menghadap lah. The zombie kau tembak je lah zombie tu.
Because that reminds me of the fall of Singapore in 1941 because the British was protecting the Japanese from the sea. So they dah tak cukup equipment orang kan, tapi dia tak tahu Jepun landed in Kelantan 6 days before. But it's like pointless. Tapi kalau kita tengok tentera yang ada kan, banyak adventurous, banyak spillover from survivors from the other annihilated villages and towns yang kita tengok dalam peta Ain tunjuk pangkal-pangkal tu, which again confirms or corroborate yang Ain dengar cakap Pestonia dengan terima serangan Pestonia dengan Negredo that save some people. Otherwise, they would have had no help whatsoever. So basically, just to bolster the numbers of what E-NAEURL has in the form of a military force and magic, and then therefore they've bolstered it with dengan ni lah adventurers yang banyakkannya magic casters kan, because they want to repel an undead attack. And then pun Skama pun cakap, dia kata kami sebenarnya bab perang antara nations will not take sides because we are adventurous, tapi because in this case those are undead. So dia pun macam ada dia punya self-serving purpose lah juga. Okay, tak apalah ni nak lawan undead kan. So kalau macam kita main game kan, kita kalau tangkap undead kita naiklah level dan sebagainya.
Masalahnya sebab the undead are people going to be enemies who are, dia orang tak akan bagi mercy to the population. Soldiers, there is a chance that the army, the forces that surrender, okay, there might be some pillaging and whatnot, but there is a higher chance of not having the entire town razed to the ground. But this is a proven destroy everything in its path, the undead army. So dia nak tak nak, dia orang terpaksa jugalah. Because they are not helping to attack another country. They are defending the innocent people. Which is kind of interesting because then askar regulars dia kat mana? Regular askar dia tak nampak. Kedua, how much
ada sikit kat tengah-tengah tu, because kan masa kawan tu duk announce kan, look up, jangan nanti masa lawan, I know I'm offering rewards to all of you, tapi jangan ingat reward sangat because concentrate on the war, and that goes the same for my army as well. I think there is some element of a military force, tapi
itulah, I mean, given the fact that they have 1 month notice and the fact that there's only one way into the port, I rasa it's poorly defended. Where is all the pit traps, spike traps, all the trenches,
I agree. Tapi kan macam dia orang cakap, we'll give you 1 month to prepare, but the central area of Reaksi tak tahu what's happening outside because demiurges have been scuppering all forms of communication to know that. So dia tak boleh respond lah nak hantar kapal ke apa, and E-NAEURL tahu ada something happening pun because asal tiba-tiba kita orang mendapat refugee ramai-ramai ni. Betul dia orang cakap lah. Kami kena serang babi. Diorang kata nak attack lagi sebulan. Kami dah kena attack lah.
So, itu yang I mention tu. That is where the fear and the panic sets in. But dia punya preparation for the fight is sorely lacking lah. Kalau dia macam, kalau anybody who watches who studies on siege warfare, bila orang serang castle orang and everything, you have multiple lines of defense tau. You akan ada macam pits, you akan korek trenches, you know. Regardless of who the enemy is, trenches will slow down the enemy. Because you tak boleh maintain army punya formation bergerak macam tu. So now you kena sini sikit.
Yalah.
And then kalau spike tu penuh, all those trenches banyak spikes and everything, kalau you buat trap spikes banyak-banyak you boleh buat. But tak nampak. There is no preparation for war when a nation has already declared war on your nation.
Okay, let me just add one more thing lah. You have to understand the Lord of the city, right? He thought that he had an extra option, which is to surrender. Dia tak tahu Nazarick nak serangkan, nak devour everyone to become undead. That wasn't what he expected. Dia kata he'll surrender if they send a messenger, right? Surrender. He would definitely surrender. But that didn't happen. So he was actually surprised on the scale of ferocity of Nazarick now. So he had no choice but to do the best thing he can at that moment, which is actually to master a wall defense. Probably you're right. Maybe they should put pits of fire or spike at the depan or something like that, or shit on the road or something like that. Whatever they do this. But he wasn't expecting this sort of warfare happening to his land.
Itulah. Actually, before we go on to the next question, which is for Syaz, I've got kita ada soalan daripada penonton di rumah, Catherine the Great. I think baik kita jawab soalan sekarang. So, jadi kenapa Lilinet lebih dipilih untuk kahwin daripada memiliki holy sword dari Noah the Bandit, peninggalan nenek moyangnya? Holy sword tu apa kegunaannya? So, kenapa Lilinet lebih pilih untuk kahwin? Syaz?
Kahwin?
Kahwin?
Bukan kahwin. Jadi mistress.
Kira kahwin lah juga. Kira kata tak sembah. Tapi kerana Lilinet Shotakon. Because anak kaun tu 13 tahun. Saya tak nak cakap lagi, nanti kena cancel. Ini cerita Jepun. Atas
sebab 18SX.
Ini bukan 18SX dah. Ini macam get to jail, do not collect 200. Do not
betul, tapi kita kena faham, dalam dunia tu tak ada peraturan macam tu. So dalam dunia dia orang, benda ni mungkin
normal.
Kan? So
lagi tu undang-undang kat Jepun, masalahnya mengikut constitution umur 13.
Yeah,
itu tak apalah.
That's actually consent age, not marriage lah.
Consent age untuk melakukan hubungan.
Not married,
boleh,
tapi
kau tak boleh kahwin tapi kau dah boleh rembat. Wow.
Tapi tu lah masalahnya, bila dalam culture dia orang, so dia orang mulalah menggunakan beberapa, kita dah tengok lah dalam anime dia orang guna rightly, well it's all wrongly, not because dia guna dia bukan budak, dia 3,000 tahun.
Tapi okey lah, untuk menjawab soalan ni, dia ada dua potential reason. Satu is sebab dia dah tengah hot for Shota, tu satu. Kedua, aku dah family kau. Pinjamlah kejap pedang tu.
Okey, betul soalan dah. Holy Sword tu apa kegunaannya? Mengikut laman fandom wiki Overlord, 5 colored Holy Sword ni khazanah keluarga Count tu dah. It's in the family. Dia pedang panjang, long sword. Dia tak tajam, tapi dia kena 5 elemental powers: fire, thunder, acid, sonic, which is sound dengan ice. So macam pedang tu macam tak tajam pun, dia ada power je. Tapi kalau Lilinet tu kita tengok muka dia macam tu, dia bukan nak peduli sangat color ke 7 color ke 20 color ke, dia nak anak orang tu je. Astaghfirullahalazim.
So basically Lilinet akan dapat the long sword and also the short sword.
He's a samurai in training lah.
Badum Tish, man. Badum Tish. Anyway, okay, the next question for this segment is for Shaz. Okay, because this is soalan untuk you. Cavalry, Gundam to the rescue. Apakah pandangan anda dengan ketibaan seorang pengembara adamantite berperisai dari kumpulan, I tak tahu apa subtitle dekat IQIYI cakap, dekat Crunchyroll dia kata Vermilion Drop. Vermilion is still merah untuk membantu pertahanan E-NAEURL yang menumpaskan dengan mudah sekali 2 tentera undead terkuat dari pihak Nazarick. Because kalau tengok zombie-zombie lain tu macam just obstructing aja. Bila warrior tu datang kan dengan tusuk tu terpelanting all the zombies. So it's like the zombies are not going to do anything anyway. Dan adakah anda merasakan yang senjata serta perisai kegunaan pengembara adamantite itu sesuatu yang agak luar biasa? Hin-hin, dan sesuatu yang sudah dalam jangkaan Ainz apabila merancang serangan ke atas E-NAEURL. Just to add a little bit, kan masa the middle bit of the episode, Ainz dengan dia punya floor guardian dekat bilik conference tu, basically they are narrating this war in that book. Kan diorang semua duk baca, because so macam that at that time kan Ainz kata you just read till the end and you'll see why. Because diorang kata yang orang lain attack under Demiurgus, under Albedo, semua mati, semua fully annihilated. Tapi yang Ainz attack tak fully annihilated, ada yang terlepas, obviously because dia dah dengar cakap Pestonia dengan Negredo. Tapi this pekan, because at that time kita tak tahu lagi apa outcome perang dekat this port side town, because at that time they were reading, and then Ainz kata jangan melatah, just read to the end. So I know that's a bit long-winded this question. So basically this Gundam to the rescue is actually, I think, pivotal to why Ainz said what he said at the end of the episode. Silakan. By all means, ask me again if the question has gone haywire, but yeah.
Apa? Benda ni aku akan jawab ikut sedap hati aku.
Alright, no problem.
Okay, first aku kena bawa balik topi ni, topi John Cena ni.
Okay.
Sebab dia, kalau dia menghadap sini, is the critic punya side and this will be the fan punya side. So,
okay.
Criticism dulu.
Yeah,
first kali I was mildly annoyed. The critic in me lah. Aku bila tengok benda ni macam like, there goes the pure fantasy setting of this entire series. Sebelum ni you had magic, high level magic, you ada undead, you have dragons, sword and sorcery, you have political intrigue. The technological level was very medieval. Tak silap aku, tak ada pun dia tunjuk gunpowder punya usage.
Ada.
Two
times Nazarick masa season 3 when they fight the capital, and Toma use a gun tapi shoot apa yang bug bullets. Masa dia lawan dengan Evil Eye, she's using a gun yang ada bug. Yeah. And
so technology dah ada lah.
And there's also another Pleiades in Nazarick kan, the automaton, she uses firearms.
Oh, Nazarick punya set aku tak kisah, sebab Nazarick is allowed to do this. Sebab Nazarick was created by modern human punya society.
Yeah, but the thing is kan, okay, here's the thing. Alright, that one saya faham. But when they were fighting against the Platinum Adventurers kan, during the season 3 punya fight at the capital, right, the heroes know what a firearm is tau. When tembak-tembak kan, they know we gotta take shield. I don't have to use I cannot dodge with my sword. So they know what a firearm is.
So that means gunpowder dah wujud, tapi belum machine gun level punya firepower lah.
Yeah, which is why even Skama and Lilinet and the two other guys kan, the fodder guys kan, tengok kan, terkejut tau, because wow, that cannon shoots rapid fire tau.
Betul. So this is the second part of the ni lah. The fact that you introduce a mecha, not just mecha on the ground tau, macam Pat Lambor, macam macam Gundam without jump packs is just a walking unit. So this guy is pure flight tau, and laju. Dia punya speed of flight bila aku tengok I think
hypersonic.
dude, it's a nod to Gundam. Betul? Ting!
Huh?
Ada macam twinkle kan. Bila laju, ting!
It's so fast. You tak nampak dia terhilang tau. Kalau you tengok almost every mecha series that I have seen, they do not show any mecha that moves that fast. Mungkin 2-3 je kot. And those are units which are designed to be super fast tau. So actually, I mean, firstly, the low tech punya world dah hilang. Kedua, dia punya the introduction of a mecha macam ni completely ruins the power balance tau. So now, is he going to start helping everywhere? Kenapa dia tak tolong sebelum ni bila villagers kena? Kenapa pula, then I boleh tanya lagi, kenapa dia tak pergi serang NAZARICK terus if the firepower is already that strong? Kan, I mean, that's the critic in me lah macam
Yeah.
so many people were just left to die macam tu. Lepas tu you come at this specific moment, bye.
I'm not really rebutting you at all. I agree with
Yeah.
whatever you say.
That is the critical side lah. Tapi
pusing.
weh, Gundam weh.
Mainan.
Kalau kau tak kisah genre, kalau you just look at it as ini isekai, so you can do whatever you want.
Yes, whatever you
Gundam
have.
shows up weh dengan fully functional. Ini aku rasa tak tahu berapa caliber punya round ni, 50 cal and above punya gun.
At least lah, yeah.
Because humans boleh tembak 50 cal punya rifle and tak melayang. So, it's probably using, tak tahulah, 200 caliber punya rounds ke apa ke, but pecah ke tahu. So, bila pecah benda ni, it shows that NAZARICK is not invincible. And all this time, yang Ais duk planning nak buat runic power, dapatkan all the healing potions from Anri punya village tu, dapatkan the lizard man punya support, the wolf punya subservience, dan emperor tu punya subservience, because by going the high aggro punya route, meaning dia pergi buat hal to the point where everybody will notice you.
Yep.
Of course, news will travel fast. Mestilah dia akan attract, benda yang orang tak pernah dengar macam ni. So, the fan in me, bila aku tengok dia punya speed tu, after I realised that, okay lah, I guess this is real, this is happening. The fact they can travel so fast means they are outside of the map.
Yes. Okay.
The map yang kita tengok tadi tu, yang you share, they might be like over here ke apa ke. So he can travel so fast, they can be on a special platform in the middle of the ocean. So it's a fully technological punya nation that has never bothered to do anything until they realise via satellite. Apa yang gerak banyak tu.
Funnily enough, dalam map tu ada satu tempat nama Floating City, tapi it's way south and it's nothing to do with the Floating City. Ada tapi kita nanti tengok map.
Not yet.
Tengok
Not yet. Flying City. Okay, aku share sekali lagi. Allah, sekarang I have nothing illegal lah. Yep. Tak. I think sementara I'm sharing the screen. Okay, you bloody share this properly.
Sebab ini fakta yang sangat seronok untuk dibincang.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what the hell? Yeah. Let me get rid of the ni. Overlay. Benda tu ni nampak arrow tu. Nampak. Nampak tu. That's the flying city.
Confirm.
So atas tu Elf Kingdom. Bearing in mind the pekan is not map ni, but this is where the city that the E-NAEURL is theoretically is. So basically dia bila nak kata yang pekan-pekan sini nak decimate because tak nak pertolongan daripada the
northeast tu.
Northeast punya lah. So maknanya if there's anything out there, nothing can come down.
Sebab
This is the ugly
council
council state. So basically kalau macam the platinum dragon yang demi-humannya kerajaan tu nak bagi bantuan, they can come through this way. So that's why they wanted to get rid of E-NAEURL. Holy Kingdom ini. So basically, yes. So itulah. Without trying to spoil, this is a group called Vermilion Drop. They're from north of Reaksi. That's all they say. I'm not going to give you the name of the leader who's wearing the suit. I can tell you the suit is called Powered Suit Armor of Reinforcement. And where it comes from, I can tell you, it's 3 meters in height. So it's not like a piloted macam Gundam, tapi it's like probably more like a pet labor dia pakai suit tu.
Do you know where it comes from? Bandai.
We will. I think we will have to discuss this in the next episode because
it comes from fucking Bandai.
But okay, so that means dia punya origin dah di-mention dah in the wiki and the novel.
Yes.
Oh, sayang lah. Baru nak keluar 1000 teori Brazil tu kan.
Tapi
okay.
Kalau tak sebut pun, I think kita punya teori Brazil will hold true because dari mana lagi nak cari benda yang high tech? As you say, this is a sword and sorcery kind of land, and why are we suddenly having flipping
space? Dia teori akan berubah sikit. These are actually mecha given to adventurers, certain adventurers sahaja. That means the originating town or country or nation, whatever that makes them, is holding even better tech. That's why dia tembak machine gun je, dia bukan tembak beam weapon.
Tapi it goes to show that it's quite because kena pedang kali pedang kali 2 kali dia tembak 2 kali je kot. Bom, berhancur licin siot pakai senapang dia.
Tak. There's quite a lot of shots. You tengok betul dia punya shots tu. There's a lot of bullets flying out.
I think the lot of bullet was for the second fella. The first fella macam 2 kali tembak je kot. Dia macam turun. Yang second shot, because yang lawan 2 pedang tu is stronger than the Death Knight. The Death Warrior is stronger. But kalau I tak ingat properly pun minta maaf. Tapi macam, but you're right lah. Still, it destroyed. Okay. You all ingat kan masa kat hujung episod 9 ni, Ains kata, I knew this was coming. Because kita kena ingat juga, daripada awal cerita Overlord ni, kan one of the duties he did was to ask Sebastian, to ask Demiurgus to go around the land and do reconnaissance. So whether or not one of the reconnaissance has brought back information that we've heard of this person with this armored suit, and Iron probably anticipated he's going to turn out at E-NAEURL. So why should I bother sending a proper army? Just send these 2 buggers and a bunch of zombies. We'll wait and see if he comes out. And he did come out, and he goes, aha. So probably he was testing it. But the thing is, as you can see from that was the first town Nazarick kalah in this scheme.
Generally, yeah.
In this campaign.
Basically, right now, what this opens up kan, is that kalau if it's 3 meters only and it's a powered punya suit, that means it's not very tall lah. Dia lebih kurang tinggi 1.5.
It will be the size. It will be the size of a Death Knight.
Yeah.
3 meters is 3 times 3, 9 foot.
Kita ni kurang 1.6, 1.7. So two of us is a 2-story house lah. So it's actually quite small. But the gun is the thing that makes it crazy.
Tapi kan the fact dia bagi salute tu, it must be a cheeky bugger wearing it. Like, alright, bye, thank you.
So dia macam ni tau. Bila dah ada suit macam ni, that means teknologi dalam cerita ni can be anything. You can have steampunk level of technology. You can have a modern society. For all you know, Kingdom area ni sebenarnya is the backward country or backward continent in a bigger planet. So macam negara lain semua cakap orang-orang gila kat sana tu kita jangan kacau, dia orang suka magic. Dia orang guna suka pedang, dia orang suka guna shield semua ni, kita jangan kacau. Orang sana ramai orang gila. So kat sini kita dah buat steam train, kita dah ada kereta guna petrol, so kita jangan kacau orang sana lah. Itu orang gila. So for all you know, bila dia orang semua dah conquer sini, tiba-tiba ice move to another continent, dia tengok sampai sana macam modern Tokyo. You ada monorail, you ada train, subway, macam like ini
tapi,
macam Tokyo.
Ya, mungkin aku tersalah dengar whatever, but thus far dalam kita duk borak ni, did any of you mention not like could this come from Yggdrasil?
There's a good possibility.
You know what I mean?
Those are
Pasal apa? Ais duk cari barang-barang bukti-bukti yang wujudnya teknologi game tu dalam alam ni. And now he's seeing, and the only way I can think fathom that something like so technologically advanced, it needs to have come from Yggdrasil. But how it, you know, kita ada cerita 200 years ago, potential players coming up, whether or not they brought the technology with them. Ini teori Yokohama. Ini bukan, I've not looked it up. But the thing is, that's the only thing I can think of to explain why you have a flipping Gundam in the world of sword and sorcery is, you know, katalah kita dalam game, kita main Final Fantasy pun kadang-kadang kalau dia ada robot pun dia akan stylize lah to make it look relevant to that world. Tapi tapi yalah, kalau Yggdrasil punya makers of the game decide, nah, this is your best weapon to wear, I'll make it look like a Gundam. So macam mana nak tahu?
Let me just say as a fan who doesn't read the novel, right?
Yes.
My understanding is the Yggdrasil punya player NPC creation kan, it's a lot. It's highly customizable. So you can create them to act how they act and look what they look. And in this case kan, it looks like that this Vermilion Drop kan, most likely a player related punya character tau. So far lah. Because dia punya design kan is something like from Bandai or Hasbro, you know. It's not of that world punya design now. And it's not steampunk. That one just traveled to hypersonic speed in seconds tau.
Ya, ini dah tak steampunk. Steam pun, ini macam nuclear powered or whatever powered lah.
That's not jet fuel or from a coal. Okay, it's not from something from like Steam Detectives or
Lithium kalau hang Star Trek fan.
There is actually still a way for this mecha and a few more mechas to exist. Tetapi still be within the realm of magic. Sebab kalau Yggdrasil is really as customizable in terms of avatar, so what they could have done is when they complete a certain quest that Ain's punya group mungkin tak minat ke atau tak buat ke, dia orang kata I would like to have a special armor. Mungkin karakter dalam the game pun ada yang besar kan, mungkin 2-3 meters for all we know. So dia kata aku nak suit yang besar, well regardless dia tinggi atau tidak, and then it can shoot magical projectiles. So that means benda tu is not firing based on gunpowder
or bullets
in
the conventional sense.
Tapi dia mungkin macam, okay, normally you akan tembak you ada akan macam blunderbuss, benda lama ke apa ke, you custom. Aku nak look dia macam M16 or whatever the weapons that they choose to design. I want it to look like this gunpla punya gun. Designer pun kata, okay lah, you are the winner of the one time only winner. So kita akan make this one, your armor tukar jadi merah, dia can give the power of light, and then dia akan ada this weapon that can shoot magical bullets.
Yeah, skin and mods. Skin and mods. Yeah.
Kan?
So, just to add,
it's actually magic based. Dia actually magic based, tetapi it looks like a mecha because it is a player punya design. So that's why being magical bullets, that's why it can cut through dia punya ni so easily. Dia bukan pecah berlubang tau. Dia pecah, disintegrate tau.
Yes.
Dia macam kalau it almost feels like it's a magical effect.
Tapi kalau macam you as a Gundam fan, when they shoot guns using proper bullets, I mean, takkanlah dalam abad ke-26 whatever it is, diorang pakai gunpowder dalam the guns. I mean, are there any physics of Gundam mechas that they've explained how they shoot projectile?
Even in the various Gundams, dia akan ada guna solid material which relies on gunpowder. Of course, gunpowder formula tu mungkin dah berubah lah.
Yalah,
but it's still something explodes, shoot a bullet keluar. The other version will be beam weapons lah, which is like
macam laser semua lah.
Sol, tembak a beam.
Because yang ni projectile, so it's like a bullet. So basically,
I mean, it might be magical bullet.
Okay, kepada penonton di rumah, I mean, for example, I'm just using Zenom punya komen ni, ada spoiler light novel ke? Siapa yang baca light novel dan ada knowledge yang tengah gritting your teeth think, apa kejadah 3 orang ni duk cakap ni, because korang tak baca. Well, I don't read it. I do look at the wiki fandom just to prepare for the session. Tapi pasal kita ni, our session ni mostly on the anime, and kita orang nak bedah and see whether or not our crazy predictions come true or not. Tapi pada mereka yang dah baca light novel tu, bersabar je lah. Tapi because it creates excitement lah for people like us who've not known the story to venture forth to watch the next few episodes and go see what happens, because
dia macam ni tau, perbezaan orang yang dah read the manga or light novel, kita boleh compare dan tengok anime, kita boleh compare dengan orang yang contohnya dah baca buku Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. Dia punya expectation akan jadi different. Because you dah tahu Voldemort akan mati. Spoiler.
Yes.
You akan cuma nak tengok macam mana dia mati. Tapi kalau you first time, you tak pernah dengar pun ada mecha tu, tiba-tiba mecha keluar semua. It's like kalau kita compare dengan kita tengok anime yang completely fresh kan, ataupun kita tengok compare dengan cerita-cerita MCU. Yes, there's a lot of comic versions of Spider-Man. Ada comic version banyak, Iron Man, Captain America. But cerita tu dia orang akan pick and choose mana dia nak, so dia akan make it into the cerita. So dia akan something fresh. Dia tak ada betul atau salah dari segi fandom. Whether you dah tengok komik saja ke, you tengok movie saja ke, or anime saja, or you dah baca dulu, or the other way around. Ada setengah tu I tengok dia punya anime dulu, lepas tu I baca dia komik, dia punya manga. So benda tu is up to you. What is your enjoyment? Cuma itulah, dari segi BUZZPOP, we tend to discuss benda yang dah ditunjuk.
I mean, macam sebagai saya, for myself, I mean, tengah IP, I do both, baca anime, baca the manga dan tengok anime. Whether or not which one came first ke apa, there's no absolute rules. Sometimes nasib baik macam saya dah baca, for example, manga Dress Up Darling sebelum tengok anime dia. So expectation bila tengok anime dia just to compare dia buat sebiji ke tak. Tapi you have to bear in mind, macam mana pun anime, at the end of the day, kalau dia adaptasi daripada light novel atau manga, dia punya main reason dia is to promote the original source material. Dia bukan macam
manga sales.
Yeah, exactly. It actually is there to boost manga sales. But at the same time, the bonus is you dapatlah tengok cerita you ada suara, ada music, tengok dia bergerak, So kalau the actual IP done on an anime is done well by the studio, double bonus. Kadang-kadang kita dapat cerita yang kadang-kadang nasib tak baik, dapat studio yang tak best. Tapi itulah dia orang berebut lah nak cari ni, cari studio yang bagus untuk adapt the anime. So I don't have any other burning question dalam ni, so I guess kita dah boleh beralih ke segmen kita yang terakhir, harapan untuk episod ke-10 Overlord musim ke-4.
Nak main trailer dulu ke apa?
Tunggu sekejap, kita kena buat benda ni dulu, mana boleh. 1, 2, 3.
Ada.
Kena break. Okay, right. So Syaz, if you don't mind sebelum kita mulakan segmen ni, kita terusnya mari kita tonton teaser trailer episod 10. So Syaz, if you don't mind doing the honors, if you please, sebab kata orang Scotland. Pasang ambil
Sorry, dah nampak di station.
Okay, add to stream. Okay, go.
Done Okay,
dah.
playing now.
Okay, get rid of the music.
Ada to maximize volume. Oh, sorry, dia ada sub kan?
Ada sub. Kita boleh react lah as quickly as possible in 30 seconds. Oh, terkejut saya. Nampak peta dia dah macam dang. I think dia orang baru tahu kot. Tak ada audio. Siapakah gerangan mamat ni? The Blue Roses.
Yep.
What are they doing? And who are these fellas?
Hidup lagi ke that girl?
Yang mana? Nak rewind balik? Dah habis pun. Dah 30 seconds lah. Tapi kan, kuda dia pendek ke? Rasa macam kurang ajar tu. Just because he's short. Dia naik kuda padi ke?
Maybe he's a special donkey or something.
Rasa kesian lah pula. Because yes. Anyway. Yang mana yang hidup? Syaz, you were saying?
Tak, when the door open, the sister came out. Kan that character was the assassin tu ke? Yang suka bunuh orang dalam season 1 ke season 2, dia dah mati.
You mean Clementine? That's not Clementine. That's not
Bukan
Clementine.
kan, dia just someone who looks similar lah.
Actually, I've been naughty. I know who is. He is. I don't know.
Aku just nak tahu dia bukan Clementine.
Ada bukan Clementine. Tapi nanti. So
that means dia punya art style is similar lah. Kalau you tengok banyak artis manga pun karakter ni macam sama aja muka dia orang. So mungkin dia punya style looks the same lah.
So interestingly, Toho Animation bila dia buat teaser trailer ni, dia buat dua version ya. Yang tadi yang you kindly showed tu was called the special version. Again tu dia ada the normal version. So I was like, apa lain, apa special sangat, macam biasa je trailer dia. So basically overlay ni I just combine pictures, screen grab from both versions. Yang top tu gambar apa tu Oh gosh, I can't even see myself. Atas ni gambar apa? Ya Allah. Anyway.
Atas ni gambar apa?
Yeah.
It's the girl that looks like Clementine.
Okay. The girl or the guy or whatever. So that's from the trailer kita tengok. Yang tengah tu just showing. So basically, adakah ini kumpulan penggemar baru? So and then kata tu kita dah nampak Blue Roses appearing in this trailer. And what's the role of the Blue Roses kali ni dalam Reaksi? And then lastly gambar bawah tu, I bolehkah Reaksi berdamai dengan NAZARICK despite the fact that NAZARICK was macam, sorry babe, I said I'm going to annihilate you. I'm going to annihilate you in total. So and obviously lagi tu, siapakah gerangan that Ksatria Gundam berwarna merah tu, dan adakah senjata yang digunakan beliau tu dari game Yggdrasil? So Syaz, apakah harapan anda untuk episod 10 Selasa hadapan? 2 more days
actually I want to know more about that Red Warrior lah.
Same.
Sebab because that is such a mind-blowing punya moment. I want to see whether they can explain it is such that dia adakah masih ni dunia fantasi tapi ada out of place punya artifact, benda macam ni. And because it's out of place, that's why Ainz tahu this is a player made punya artifact. It could be a world item lah.
Yeah, actually what you're saying there, I kind of know a bit as well, but I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, good call. Anri, your harapan?
Saya punya harapan is very simple. I just want to listen. Okay lah. Aside from that lah.
Cakap je saja, main.
Okay. Harapan pertama, I nak tengok how Ainz going to kencing on his floor guardians. Sasuga, according to plan. That's what he said in the end of the episode, right? I want to hear his bullshit. That's my harapan. One. macam mana dia nak kencing apa dia punya member. And second, I want to see more lewd female characters appearing, and it looks bright. We have this Clementine looking bitch. I like Clementine. I seriously like Clementine.
Dia mati kan? Dia mati kan?
Dia mati. And here's the thing tau. She was actually resurrected in the...
Is she?
Yeah. Because in Overlord punya anime kan, they have two versions tau. This one and another one yang play this punya cerita tu. Play this.
Oh, I've not watched that one. Yeah, that's like an additional ONA kan. Now,
Clementine.
OVA.
Yeah, and Clementine was resurrected in the play this punya storyline, and she suffered apa in Nazarick because dia dah revive, and then she had to travel to escape Nazarick punya labyrinth lah, and it's funny lah basically. So there's a possibility kan, very minute possibility kan, that Clementine is in Nazarick, lost and trying to escape. Tapi still alive because it's for Ice entertainment lah, you know.
Yeah.
Ice can be quite the asshole. Yeah.
Like itu prison complex where Negredo lives too. Actually, basically where she is, it's basically probably the residential bit of the prison. But the prison is pretty much where a lot of sesiapa yang dia orang tangkap prisoner of war, dia orang umban kat situ lah. Tapi I can't remember lah which season. Yeah. So kita tak ada macam harapan sangat dari penonton di rumah, tapi tak ada beberapa soalan menyimpang. Jojo Part 6, Part 2 bila nak review? Part ni agak sedih lah juga, tapi seperti mana kita tahu, selain daripada laman streaming yang biasa kita tengok anime macam ni at the same time saya jawab soalan Iqbali juga. Saya duduk mana? Saya duduk Yggdrasil. Tu siang. Tak. Saya duduk 7 jam away from Malaysia. Saya dekat England. So sekarang pukul 3.52 petang. So saya tengok anime dekat mainly Crunchyroll. Kalau Crunchyroll dengan Funimation ambil license ni, because sekarang Sony dah beli Crunchyroll dan Funimation. Obviously kat Malaysia kita boleh tengok dekat Netflix, boleh tengok dekat IQIYI, atau nak tengok kat actually Bilibili dengan IQIYI tu same one kan, because they are Chinese, right? They're from China.
They're Chinese.
Yeah. And then obviously View pun apparently dah ambil anime. Apparently boleh tengok season 1 My Hero Academia kat View kat Malaysia. Kat sini so selain daripada tu, Disney Plus dah mula ambil lesen, Netflix dah ambil lesen. Tapi masalah dengan company besar seperti Disney Plus dengan Netflix ni, dia beli lesen pandai, sedia banyak duit, tapi dia tak reti tunjuk dekat audience cara sebaiknya untuk tengok anime. Orang yang kaki anime, kita nak tengok kalau hari ni dia tunjuk dekat Jepun, kita orang nak masa tu juga keluar. Because Crunchyroll boleh buat. Dia punya time difference dia mungkin sejam kot atau beberapa minit, because dia orang dah awal-awal dapat, so dia orang boleh buat subtitle. They will never do a simulcast dub, but they can do a simulcast sub. So you know, I mean, ramai dah orang, I mean saya zaman Lanun 20 tahun yang lepas, and I'm paying my dues. Saya bayar tengok, bukan at the end of the day pun, you know, saya ada disposable income. Saya bayar duit saya di sini RM4.99 je nak tengok sebulan all the anime Crunchyroll has. So you know, so and yang bagusnya dia orang ni, tapi baguslah ada competition. Tapi bila dia orang nak Netflix dengan Disney Plus ni, dia ambil this new franchises macam Jojo Part 6 ni, dia ambil, dia bagi binge 12 kali goes. So nak bedah susah. Pasal apa? Kalau saya dah tengok, saya rajin malam tadi dah tengok 13 episod, Syaz baru tengok 6, Anri aku baru tengok 1, nak bedah macam mana? Susah. Kita nak macam buat every week bedah, unless kita macam pakat kita orang bertiga, okay, by the end of 3 weeks we finish it all, and then in that one bedah session discuss all 13. Nanti kacau pula orang lain yang nak discuss, tapi alah bang, saya baru tengok 3 episod je. So macam, so dari awal lagi brother Nick dari BUZZPOP macam frustrated lah, kata apa sayang, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Jojo is a big franchise. Bukan kita orang tak nak. So macam orang tanya, Allah bang mana One Piece best? One Piece dah 1,000. Orang macam saya, tolong gelakkan saya tak kisah. Saya tak tengok One Piece, saya tak baca One Piece, saya tak tengok Dragon Ball, tak baca Dragon Ball. So macam setengah orang tak tengok langsung atau whatever. So and then lagi pun franchise yang besar macam tu, macam Dragon Ball or One Piece, tak ada kami pun dah boleh hidup. Korang akan discuss kat internet, korang dah boleh discuss kat Discord, korang boleh discuss dekat your own Facebook group. Because what BuzzPop is trying to do is kami nak macam, kalau boleh lah, kalau banyak anime lain yang lain daripada the usual ones yang actually worth checking out. So macam Overlord ni tak ramai orang tengok sebenarnya, tapi macam ada juga peminat dia. So nak juga introduce kat orang lain, check it out. Saya tak tengok dulu. Saya mula-mula ingat, apalah cerita ni. Bila tengok, cerita ni best. Saya binge 3 season in 1 month. And saya bekerja.
Overlord season 4 kot anime dia.
Macam mana?
Overlord dah season 4.
Dah sempat. Tapi what I'm saying is before I started,
so that's why it's very popular juga.
Sebelum I've been asked to do this, because kalau kita tengok, because dekat luar pun macam kita tengok kat YouTube kan, tengok any tuber actually it's recommended highly by, you know, I'm not saying that certain YouTubers are better than others, tapi macam saya pilih certain YouTubers to tengok, because nak tengok banyak sangat kan berkecamuk, because banyak sangat pendapat. So, saya ikut this American nama John Siu, dia punya website dia, punya YouTube page nama Mother's Basement. Dia punya komentar dia banyak video essay. Dia punya video essay dia memang dia cakap banyak, tapi kalau tengok dia punya video tak nampak muka dia pun, dia tunjuk the anime. Pandai juga dia edit. Dia tak pernah kena cancel, tak kena copyright strike, touch wood. But his komentar on Overlord sebagai contohnya, macam saya, dia kata alah isekai lagi, tapi tengok okay lah,
It's different.
Kan it's different, because everything else macam memanglah main character overpowered, tapi terbalik dia ni orang jahat, ada world building, you know, dia bukan takat aku nak ada 10 bini you know, things like that. So yeah, so sorry, tapi unfortunately Jojo Part 6 tak review. InsyaAllah My Hero Academia season 6, because kita orang dah buat, BuzzPop dah buat tahun lepas, sambungan core 2 untuk season 1 Spy Family, dan insyaAllah Chainsaw Man, kalau saya boleh fit in lah. So jadual ni kena, tapi because as saya jawab tadi, saya dekat United Kingdom, and then untuk bulan hadapan ni pun dah pack, BuzzPop dah pack dia punya minggu dengan banyak lagi siri-siri pop culture yang nak buat. Ahad dah jadi hari untuk anime. Tapi itulah, kita mungkin akan discuss 2 episode one shot, so that we have a chance to roll over lah this other title.
Yeah, also let me say to Muhammad Yasir kan, Jojo 6 kan is sad thing we cannot discuss the franchise on BuzzPop anime, but keep in mind a lot of people aside from us pun tak discuss, because Netflix, they actually killed Jojo Friday. The story will come out whatever in the weekend, but we will always discuss it. The fans will discuss it throughout the week until Friday, and then Jojo has a lot of things that kita will discuss, whether it was a good episode or a bad episode. There was also something to discuss when it comes to Jojo, because Jojo is like watching anime and then you sedut cocaine and have acid every 5 minutes. It's a mind fuck, and it's a good thing because it has become different than most anime, and it's a shame that Netflix they made a corporate decision to treat this like a normal show instead of an anime show. So it's a pity lah. Maybe next time Jojo 7 Steelball Run, they won't give it back to Netflix lah, because I think Jojo 6 is the least top in the whole franchise right now. because of Netflix punya decision, and it's sad because this is the only arc so far yang ada female lead one, and this is also, if you read the comics, you know that this is the final story that's happening in this current universe.
The current universe. Pasal apa kan? Again tu, it's not just the fact David Production je buat JoJo 6 ni. It actually has Netflix punya nama dalam production tu. The Netflix has already pump money in it. Not just dia bukan macam so ni cara Netflix buat. Disney Plus lagi satu hal pula. Dia macam masalah sekarang ada tu anime season bulan musim bunga dengan musim panas, nama summertime rendering, a bit of a mystery plus supernatural plus horror plus time loop punya series yang actually quite good. Manga dia best gila, tapi macam as usual, bila orang kata people are not talking, who are the people? The people are in pretty much orang barat lah. Actually korang dah dapat tengok dekat Disney Plus kat Malaysia, tapi lambat 2 minggu. Banyak juga anime macam lambat 2 minggu, tapi setengah orang mungkin tak kisah. Tapi macam a lot of people kalau betul-betul suka cerita tu dan hype, dia nak tahu on the spot. Because bila cerita tu tunjuk on the spot, orang tak pirate, orang sanggup bayar. Tapi in the end of the day, korang nak belikan lesen ni, kononnya nak macam tak nak bagi orang pirate juga. Ni lagi satu. Kalau kepada uncle-uncle, kalau ada uncle yang tengok siapa yang layan Bleach, the final arc yang datang selepas 10 tahun kami tunggu nak tengok. Ni masih rumor, tapi dah macam ramai sangat orang cakap mungkin betul. So Crunchyroll pun dah tak kata apa. Crunchyroll kalah, Disney Plus dapat. Dia buat macam Bleach, macam summertime render. Jepun je dapat tengok every week. Orang then they will decide, because summertime render dekat Asia dapat lambat seminggu 2 minggu, tapi dekat US dengan Europe we'll decide, we'll tell you when, we'll show it to you a month later. Kira macam kami sini satellite kami yang Astro, kami nama Sky. So macam for example, kami tak dapat tengok Peacemaker kami dapat tengok 2 bulan lepas tunjuk dekat US. You guys dapat tengok kat HBO Max atau dekat you ada HBO Max kan kat Malaysia?
Ada kot. I pun tak layan.
I tak tahu siapa layan. I mean because BuzzPop dah bedah Peacemaker. So korang tengok kat mana, mungkin Netflix ke apa. Kami tak dapat because lesen tu dipegang oleh Sky. Dia ada Sky Atlantic. So I can only watch it 2 months later. Tapi kalau nak tengok, nak join budak-budak BuzzPop, daripada kalau saya pelajar dekat Malaysia, dekat United Kingdom, terpaksa lah macam pirate. Tengok pirate, lepas tu boleh layan ikut time. So tu lah, I mean Viz which is the western component of the people that makes Bleach. Hari tu I tak ingat kat mana dia orang cakap, kat Twitter ke apa, dah cakap we will try to make it at least for US simulcast. Macam what can they do? I mean, I don't know lah. Kita tunggu dulu lah bila cakap, because peminat Bleach bukannya duduk Amerika je, satu dunia yang tak duduk Jepun. So kalau orang tak kisah, korang nak macam they call it Disney jail. Dia bobo dalam jail cerita-cerita ni. Tak dapat tengok. Aku jail lah cerita-cerita ni. So aku terpaksa lah buka torrent. Tapi bukan pasal nak sokong pirate, tapi dah pasal korang tak bagi chance nak tengok, aku nak tengok on the spot. I cannot wait.
This is the dilemma for anime fans now. We have the Japanese legislation to worry about, and now the distributors, whoever they are. The studios doesn't give a fuck. They just make the show. How they screen it is up to dia punya licensing punya bullshit lah. Yeah. So that's the big issue.
Category regret dia mentioning lambat 2 minggu ni is on summertime render. So anyway, tapi itulah yelah, kita ingat anda dah macam 20 years on after zaman-zaman where to get up to date anime is by pirating, and obviously saya dah tak torrent anime for the longest time. Tapi saya bayar. Tapi you know,
yes.
Yalah, kalau dia dah buat benda putih-putih, buat bleed terpaksalah saya nak tengok, Labyrinth tu kan. Tadi baru tengok. episod 4. Hallelujah. Anyway, terima kasih daripada penonton di rumah kerana memberi komentar dan juga komentar soalan-soalan tadi. So looks like we are coming to the end of today's session. So sebelum kita akhiri sesi ulasan Overlord episod 9 malam ni, jangan lupakan nantikan sesi ulasan siri-siri anime di bulan Oktober nanti dari kami di Sesi /Spop. Satu antaranya adalah My Hero Academia atau Hiroaka season 6 yang trailer terbaru mereka baru saja rilis malam di laman YouTube Toho Animation. So apa kata kita saksikan? Let's hope we can have some audio in this time, but tak apalah. We'll try. I'll get rid of the music once you get the video on. I'll add it to stream.
Dia tak ada audio
Tak tahu, dari last week tak ada audio tau. Tapi tak apalah, pasang lah, try, we'll see. I'll get rid of the music.
Ni tak ada subtitles. Okay.
Tak apa, kita nak tengok je lah, just to see what's happening and to react. Baguslah tak ada audio, tak boleh copyright strike. Tapi tak best. Oh, sheesh. So, kepada mereka yang membaca season 6 ialah from chapter 27, volume 27 onward.
This is the beginning of the war actually.
Bloody hell. Tu dia, tekan minyak kereta. Saya kena make sure saya dah baca by the time we have to discuss this, but that's not long. I got only 6 volumes. Bloody hell. Hero. Oh, apa nama? Gigantomachia apa dia? Wah, suka Anri seronok.
Seronok.
I kasih music lah sikit. Rasa macam kelakarnya lagu.
Yes.
Who's that?
Mirko.
Oh. Bloody hell. Tapi studio Bones buat animation dia cantik lah. Apa tau, dia orang malang tau. Dulu ada satu cerita apa lah, dia got screwed over and then dia orang macam nak buat apa sekarang. Ada orang nak buat, ada orang nak minta kita buat My Hero Academia. There you go. Daripada malang kepada untung. Part ni, he said, Ima, Kokokara, Subete Cross. Sekarang daripada sini aku bunuh everything. I'm looking forward to this, but but basically end of season 5 was when they did lawan siapa tu? Geng-geng.
Yeah.
Apa mama yang muka macam Joker tu. Itu part tu aku tak happy sangat because he drew the apa nama dia? Yang hidung tajam tu.
Forgot lah. Because it was the worst season for me lah.
Because they draw macam Mark Hamill punya Joker tau. I mean, Horikoshi ni kadang-kadang dia punya karakter dia derivatif sangat. Kadang-kadang alah takkan kau copy
bukan tu dia from ni apa, bukan Ren and Stampy apa, ada the adventure tu budak sama holiday tu tak habis-habis.
He looks more like that character from Persona Igor punya nose tu.
Yelah tak, someone did the guy who always spots the hero punya beaver, remember? The beaver is actually a super spy.
What beaver?
Beaver.
Beaver. Sorry. Forget.
Budak yang
Phineas and
Phineas and Herb punya ni Adventures. Adventures of Phineas and Herb apa ke? So the enemy hidung macam tu lah.
Tapi itulah satu yang ingat kita Batman animation masa Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, like late 90s, early 90s. I mean, that was the time when I sometimes watch DC cartoons. Masa God, apa nama somebody on the comments. I bet you somebody dah comment dah apa nama Mamat tu. Bukan Joker kan hidung besar. Lepas tu Mamat orang jahat dalam ni Fires and Herb, dia nak komen apa kau cakap. But anyway, tak apalah. Tapi whatever it was, so at least we are pretty hyped up to see what's coming up in next season.
Yeah.
So anyway, so dengan
the trailer is almost perfect. We see Momo's ass, Momo's back. We see Mirko. What we don't see is Mitsuki.
Apa we don't see?
Mitsuki. Mak Bakugo.
Oh. Nak tengok mak Bakugo, kau tengok Bakugo je lah.
Don't need lah.
She looks like Bakugo. Aku tengok yang ni Anri minat. It's like kalau katalah
Bro,
kau
have
kiss
you
dia kan.
watched? Have you watched
dia, kau tengok macam I'm kissing Bakugo, man.
Bakugo's feminine. He acts like a jealous girlfriend. The mothers were a lot better. So please.
Anyway, so
terus.
apalah. Okey lah, tak apalah. So dengan ini berakhirlah sesi kami untuk episod 9 hari ini, dengan diharapkan penonton di rumah semua terhibur dengan kita punya dah search ni. Kepada anda yang baru ke sesi kami, jangan lupa untuk melanggan dan klik butang like untuk laman YouTube either Stomach of Chaos. In fact bukan either, both lah. Kasihlah chance. Saya web YouTube miskin, tak macam BuzzPop. Tapi as usual, sokong BuzzPop juga pada yang baru-baru juga. Untuk kandungan yang saya punya YouTube, saya nak try buat kandungan yang all things Japan, everything lah, termasuk travel, anime, manga, makan, mainan, apa-apa. And as usual, as you know, BuzzPopTV laman pop culture suka ramai Malaysia, which is going from strength to strength. So anyway, so terima kasih kerana sudi bersama kami, kepada rakan panelis saya ini, Otsu Karyasama Deshita. So
Chama-chama, Krosuya Sumi, and salam malam deswa.
Ya, apa dia buat baru ni? Dia nangis kan? Dia main game kan? Dia
You saw my wall, dia nangis because
dia main Resident Evil punya ending ke?
Village, because she started her career in June. That's the first game she played, and then she finished it and nangis because of the ending.
I can hear her voice. She's crying, really crying. Sampai dia crying. Dia punya avatar pun tak boleh react dengan tangisan dia. Tapi avatar dia macam biasa macam. Anyway, so as well, so thanks Anri, so Syaz, thanks again daripada kami. So thanks again pada semua. Saya Buddha Marizu, bagi pihak all three of us, terima kasih kerana bersama kami. So ijo desu, mata ato de. Bye.